Good morning, children. Today we will be doing another type of report writing, and this one is report for a school magazine. Like we have our internal school magazine. This is how to write report for such a magazine. Now, what is a school magazine report? A school magazine report is yet another type of report asked in the ISC English language paper. It is somewhat like a newspaper report, but it is concerned about a school, college, or institution. So it will mostly cover an event which was organized in a college. For example, inter-school debate competition, inter-school cricket competition, any such event. A school magazine report basically covers an event or an occasion that occurred in a school or relates to a school and is being reported for the students to read. Now, who is the target audience? It is the students who will be reading this article. Now, note this point, relates to a school. Now, for example, there is a debate competition in some other place and your school has been invited. Now, this is an event which will interest the students of your school. So, a report will be published in the school magazine. Now, what is a school magazine report? Continued. A magazine report is always written in the third person. As I have already discussed in the earlier report question, which was the travelogue. Now, what is the third person? The basic element of writing in third person is the fact that the writer plays the role of a narrator and is not one of the participant characters. So, he is not present in the scenario, he is just reporting or he's just narrating what all things happened. A school magazine report is written in the past tense. Now, why is it written in the past tense? See, in a report, in a school magazine, when we're putting a report, it is a report about an event which has already happened. So when it has already happened, it cannot be in present tense, hence it is going to be in past tense. The report is written in a reported speech and use of passive form of expression. As we will see an example, you will understand what this point means. This report is written in a less formal and more descriptive manner. Now, what do you mean by less formal? Now, formal reports are like newspaper reports. They are very formal. For example, a newspaper report is formal. It uses good English because the readers are mostly people who are educated. Now, here we are not going to use a formal way of writing because the readers are mostly students and the age group is to be considered. The students who are reading these articles may be studying in class 1, maybe studying in class 4, maybe studying in class 10, or maybe in 12. This report is written keeping in mind its young readers. Simple words and simple English. So, in this report, you should always remember who is reading it. And accordingly, you should use simple words so that it is understood by a student of class 12 as well as a student of class 4, and simple English. The author who is writing this school magazine report should present his or her ideas and impressions to make the report interesting. So the author's main goal is to make the report interesting so that students read it. What is a school report magazine? Continued. Some points should be there when covering an event. Now, again, I will remind you, a school magazine report can be of an event, can be of an occasion. Like they can be a school magazine report on celebrations of the Republic Day. So it can be an event or an occasion. So what is the occasion? So which occasion is this report relating to? Organizers. Now, who are the organizers of this event? Now, organizers can be the cultural club of the school, the English club of the school. So these sort of clubs which are there in a school can organize many activities. So in the place of organizers, you will include them. Event, date, time, and venue. So when is the event being organized? At what time is this event going to be organized? And where is this event going to be organized? Inauguration ceremony, chief guest, special invitee, if any. Now, in any event, there is an inauguration ceremony. And generally, the inauguration is done by a chief guest. So you will mention about the inauguration ceremony as well as the chief guest. You will give a brief introduction of the chief guest, or if there is a special invitee, there also you will give a brief introduction. Objectives and main highlight of the event. Now, what is objective? Why is this event organized? So you will, like, if the question doesn't define anything, you will create your own objective. Why is this event organized? And main highlights of the event. This event relates to debates, elocution, extempore speeches, and so on and so forth. Prize distribution. At the end of the event, the results are declared and the prizes are distributed. That also will be a part of this school magazine report. Message by the chief guest. If you have attended such events, you will see at the beginning or at the end, the chief guest addresses the audience. So you can write few lines on that part as well. Result of the event. Result of the event again will relate to the prize distribution. Apart from that, it will also write about how the event was, whether it was a success, whether all the schools which participated in it enjoyed it. Now, what are the general steps when you write a report? Now, this is just a guideline. It may differ. It depends on the case actually. First is the heading. Now, report must have a heading which is actually a descriptive title that is expressive of the report contents. So this it will be a heading which will describe in a few words the event that you are writing about. Opening paragraph should contain the summary or the gist of the entire news of the event. If you remember news report, the first paragraph contains the entire summary of the event. Similarly, here also, the opening paragraph will contain the summary or the gist of the entire news of the event. Account of the event in detail. 1. It could comprise 5 W's. Now, if you remember, in a newspaper report, there are 5 W's. Why, what, when, where, and how. It's 4 W's and 1 H. So, why? Why is the event organized every year? There must be some reason behind it. What is the event? What is the event all about? Like, for example, it's an inter-school debate. When is it organized? It is generally organized in the month of December around Christmas. Where is it organized? It is organized at St. M.R. Jaipuria School. How is it organized? So you will write details of how it is organized. Next, account of the event in detail, part 2. The appropriate sequence and explanation of the events that occurred. This is self-explanatory. It is to be divided into short paragraphs. Now note this. Whatever you're going to write in the description of the event, like how it happened, you will have to write it in the form of paragraphs. Remember, your report has to be in paragraphs. Conclusion. Comprise description of how the event concluded. So this will tell about how the event was concluded. It can include quote excerpts from the chief guest's speech. So whatever the chief guest said at the end of the program, that you can quote here at the end of the report. Or in what way did the event wind up? So this will be the conclusion, how the event was, rather how the event got over, with few details. Now let us look at a question. This is an example of a school magazine report. Now in all the reports, as told to you earlier, you will have certain guidelines. Though this report that I have picked up doesn't show any guidelines, though we can understand from the question what it is about, and you can read it here while I scroll, or you can also go through the PDF which I have attached along with this video. Now the question is, school report, cultural fest in modern school. It can be any school in that matter. So now see, actually these which are written on the left side, date, place, event, inauguration, all these things are the objectives which is written in the question. Here you can see it written here. So what are the objectives? We will read them first. Date, place, event. Second is inauguration. Third is entertainment. Fourth is other features. Fifth is highlights. Sixth is chief guest's reaction. And seventh is concluding presentations. Now see, everything has been broken up into separate paragraphs. This you have to write accordingly. Now I'll scroll down. If you can read it here, fine. I'm sure you have read the example school magazine report. Now let us see what else is there. Now we are going to refer to a question from ISC 2011. The interactive club of your school held a week literacy campaign recently. As a member of the club, write a report for the school magazine in about 300 words on the activities undertaken by the club members during the campaign. Use the notes given below. You may include other relevant data as well. Now, these are the points. Announcement about the campaign in the morning assembly. Purpose of the campaign. Banners and posters made. Visit to a slum. Interaction between members of the club and the children of the slum. Books, notebooks, and stationeries distributed. Children taught in groups. Food packets distributed. Response from learners. Now, this is a question which is from ISC 2011. You can give it a try. See if you are able to do it. With that, we come to the end of magazine report writing. Thank you so much for your time. Stay blessed.